What's really good, my people? Welcome into No Catch Up Sports Talk via Chicago. I'm your host, Sean Little. Big Nick the Quick with me. We missed the Bears recap yesterday. We was busy out here. We was getting to the bag in other places, but we're here. It's Tuesday. We got a lot to talk about, man. NBA. We got Kuzma pulling up in the wildest sweater we've seen in quite some time. KD apparently tries to cover up the legs with socks and leg neoprene tights so he doesn't have to put on lotion. We're going to talk about that. I want to talk about that LeBron fight, man. I think people aren't keeping it as 100 as I think is actually what happened. So we're going to get into that. Then we'll, of course, get into NFL power rankings, what's going on there. It seems like the real power rankings are changing every week, so we'll talk about that. The Bears may have fired Matt Nagy. I was reading that before I hopped on, so that's really interesting. But first, they're talking about this is the last game that he's going to coach, but we'll get into it. But first, let's bring in my big dog, Big Nick the Quick. What's going on with you?
What's the business, man? How we feeling today, bro?
I'm good, bro, man. First Take Tuesday. Let's just jump right into it. Let's talk Thanksgiving week.
Yes, sir.
I love Thanksgiving, man. Thanksgiving my favorite holiday, I think. I used to love it a lot more when my dad was around, but now that he's passed, it's not as fun. But I still try to, have a good time and think about me and him on Thanksgiving and fuck around and watch football and stuff like that. So yeah. I'm a big Thanksgiving fan. What about you, bro?
Yeah, man, it's always a great day. You got football all day. You got a whole bunch of food. Depending on what you do, you might have a family situation or a little chiller situation, but whatever it is, any day you could just chill and not have to worry about anything is good for me. You add in the sports, I'm all in. I'm all in. Sign me up.
Well, listen, it's just everybody's off. Everybody's chilling.
Yep.
If I could watch some sports and then maybe try to catch a couple fashion pieces on the low for the sales that's going on or something I need, a pair of boots or whatever it is, I'm with the whole shit, man. I like the whole – it's like the introduction to the holiday season too.
The funny thing about that is obviously you've noticed, I know you're big on the shopping and all that, but man, like the last couple of years, like the whole Black Friday thing isn't really popping like it used to be. Like right before I got on, I got an email from Nike like, yeah, Black Friday sale starts today. Mind you, I went on there and some of the shoes are $4 off, so Nike is tripping. Taking $4 off a pair of shoes.
They're just trying to get you to pull up.
But just a lot of shit. I've been doing a lot of shopping, and everything seems like they're starting. A lot of these companies are doing this Black Friday all month, or a lot of the cyber shit is already popping. I think you'll still catch some like one-day sales. Like if you want to grab a TV on Friday, like be my guest. But I don't know about you. I've never went into a store that I wasn't working in because I used to work in retail on Black Friday. But I would never go into a store to purchase anything on Black. Wouldn't be caught dead. It would have to be the deal. It would have to be something that was at such a ridiculous discount, and I knew I wouldn't have to deal with 10,000 people getting through for me to get it. Like
never. I've never ever went Black Friday shopping in my entire life.
There's nothing I would need. Like it literally be for a TV, and like I don't.
No, I'm not dealing with. I'm not dealing with the people. I've gone now. I have gone like. So Black Friday is Black Friday, right? I have gone like Saturday with the fam.
Yeah.
And had like a hot chocolate and walked around and shit. But I'm not like people used to after Thanksgiving dinner, bro. They used to go start lining up.
They start lining up.
No way.
It's not that serious for me. Again, unless it was something that was like, yo, this is a crazy like once in a lifetime type. But there's nothing that like.
Nah. Yeah. There's nothing that could.
There's nothing that would get me like that.
There's nothing at this point in my life that I would there's just nothing. A pair of shoes. Not a PlayStation 5.
I don't need it.
If they told me I could get a PS5 for free, but I had to go after Thanksgiving dinner and wait for it, I'll buy it. Like I'm just not doing any of that. It's not that important. Yeah. It's just not happening.
Yeah, I think I went on Saturday last year. I actually went to the mall, which is the first time I've been in a mall in like 10 years, but we wanted to get Mia some shoes. Yeah. We caught some Air Maxes for like $35, so shout out to them. But I will never set foot on anywhere in a Black Friday.
I don't know what I would need.
And you can do it all online too. Yeah. Like, listen, man, to be honest, all that shit's online. Catch your Cyber Monday or whatever it is. But yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not doing that. So all right, well, before we get into these sports, what's your favorite dish, bro? Also, my girlfriend is white, so we gotta talk about this.
Yeah, there's some major issues with that. when it comes to flavoring. That's a debate. That's a debate we've been having for like 3 days because I'm really trying to flavor up this bird, and she's talking about savory, and I'm like, I don't really know what that means. Man, my favorite dish, man, like when I was a kid, when my grandma was alive, she used to make greens, like real collard greens.
Right, they used to go
with
crazy.
With the salt pork inside of it, and like yes, absolutely. Now, I mean, to be honest with you, man, depending on how the turkey's done, it's the turkey. If you happen to get a smoked ham, I'm all in. You know what I mean? Like the smoked ham is the staple of Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Sure.
So it probably goes the greens, expertly done turkey, and then a smoked ham on them. But the greens but it's like I'm never gonna recreate grandma's greens ever again. And like my girl's white too, and that's not happening with the greens. So
yeah. So we're going to her place for Thanksgiving, and everyone's bringing a dish, and we're doing sweet potatoes with marshmallows. And I'd never heard of that before in my life until the last couple of years, because that's what they do on their sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
Like my black side of the family made like candy yams. It was like sweet potatoes with like almost like a glaze on top.
Yeah.
The marshmallow thing seemed like a gimmick when I heard that shit.
Yeah, I've heard it. I've seen it like in pictures, but I've never indulged.
Yeah, but I actually had it and it was okay, but it wasn't as good as obviously like my grandmother's shit, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. So
I mean, let's keep it funky, man. There is a lack of seasoning on those sides, man. Like I'm not, like people joke about it, but like it's
it's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
People want to joke all that other shit.
Like just black people, we just
shit's not locked in like that.
It's not locked in like that. Like it's good. It's just different, man. They be using them herbs de Provence or whatever the fuck that shit is called, stuff like that. But not the. You know what I'm saying?
And another thing, I didn't realize that this is also like when I was really serious with my girl is I didn't realize macaroni and cheese wasn't like a staple on the white side.
Yeah, no, it's not.
I don't know. I was baffled by that. What do you mean you guys don't have mac? Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, it's
like that's not a thing. I thought that was just like a regular.
No, they do thing. Like some of that weird, like the pasta salads and the what's the shit called?
Man,
that weird shit. I don't eat none of that shit.
Hey, like, you talking about like stuffing?
No, I eat stuffing, but
okay.
I'm talking about the white shit with the the weird shit, dog. I don't eat. All you need to know is I don't eat it. You know what I'm saying? That's all you really need to know is that I don't eat it, man. But yeah. I had something that was on the tip of my tongue. I completely forgot it on this particular subject. But no, it's a real thing, man. It's a real thing for sure. You gotta,
just make sure you know where the pepper and the salt is at on the table.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, bring your sauce. You know what I'm saying? If you got to, hey, and hot sauce too. Hot sauce is another thing. They don't have hot sauce at the crib sometimes.
Yeah, all that,
which is a shock to me.
Shock.
No hot sauce anywhere. You don't even got Frank's.
Yeah, so
Frank's I feel pretty much spicy ketchup at this point, but like you don't even got that. Like, come on, dog. No Louisiana.
Yeah, I already know.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. NBA, man. Wait,
I know what I was gonna ask you.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said on your black side, have you ever done a Puerto Rican Thanksgiving? Like, bro, when do you embrace the Puerto Rican? Because I'll be having some slow cooked pork shoulder and all types of shit popping off. Like, what do you have you ever done that? What's that look like?
So my whole life, I would always do Thanksgiving on my black side, and then I would almost always do Christmas on my so. Since my parents were divorced, we would double dip, and I would do Christmas Eve with my mother and her and my Puerto Rican side, and then Christmas Day I would do with my dad's and the black side. So I almost always spent Thanksgiving with my dad's side just because that was like me and my dad's thing. It was football, like that's what we did. For sure. And then for the Puerto Rican side would come on Christmas. I had the coquito, all that stuff, man. I need to get someone to make me I gotta put you on this coquito. It's like
I need Puerto all Rican. That. I need all that, man.
Yeah, it's like a Puerto Rican holiday drink, basically. It's like Yeah, you would fuck with it.
I was talking about a guy. He's Venezuelan. And he was like, "Yeah, we're not even doing a turkey. We're doing a pork shoulder, a slow roasted pork shoulder, and all the spices and all that." So yeah, bro, I need to get on that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where I rock with the PR side, man. A lot of my family doesn't live here anymore, man. So
you need to. I think I told you you need to lean into that, bro.
Nah,
you gotta get the flag. You gotta get the flag out the car.
Hit my nigga Javi. See what he on. You know
Royce Compollo, baby.
Royce Compollo. You already know. All right, let's get into it. NBA. A lot of shit going on in the NBA. I want to start with the funny stuff because KD. If you haven't, I know y'all are listening mostly. So if you haven't seen this, go type in KD Ashy in your Twitter search bar, and the jokes are going to be plentiful.
So they got that snake skin.
They caught KD. So you guys know KD wears the high, like mid-calf sock, and then he wears leggings. And they caught KD with a little gap in between his leggings and his socks, and his legs were ashy as fuck. Like they look White Walker legs. Like that's
reptilian.
Yeah, like it was dry, extremely dry. So I wanted to hit you quick. Well, listen, because this is also the other thing is I feel like we might be a little too hard on these NBA dudes. Like you should be putting on lotion. Like ain't no problem with that.
Yeah,
but we firing these boys up every single night on haircuts, lotion, kicks, fits. It's like, damn, bro. Like every day these boys gotta come
was
in
talking
crazy.
about NBA players get killed in rap bars. Yeah.
Slander crazy.
Yeah.
So I mean, I always lean like that's part of it. That comes with the territory, bro. You making $25 million and you playing ball for a living. You better have a fucking haircut. Like that's it. That's all. Your fit better be tight. Like
unless you're going with like you're going with like the Jimmy Butler, like I look rugged because I choose to look like this type look. You know what I'm saying? That's what
KD does too, though.
Yeah. KD is the same too. Like you see KD out, like his t-shirts, some pants,
dog, sweats,
chain tucked in. Yeah, just kicking it.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: crazy shit. Are you putting on lotion on your legs every day?
Yeah. That's just like
it's just a routine.
Listen, bro, I can't walk around the house without lotion on my legs, and I think like it like reminds you as being a black kid and getting roasted. There's nothing worse than getting roasted for being ashy or smelling. Nothing. Musty or ashy,
you getting killed.
It's like 100. It's like you can't understand unless you've been through it. You know what I'm saying? Or seeing somebody on the other end of it. Like you can't live it down. Like you don't want to be the ashy kid and you don't want to be the musty kid, hands down. So like I have like PTSD from ever being ashy in my life. So if I like as soon as I got out the shower, I dry off and I'm putting lotion on. If I don't have lotion in the house, like I'm leaving to go get lotion. I can't go anywhere without lotion. There's lotion in my car. You know what I'm saying? There's lotion in my backpack, in my travel bag, and all that. Like it's no, you'll never catch me without. So yeah, if I'm going to play a game, like 1,000%, I would have lotion on, like for sure.
Yo, and let's be clear, this wasn't like he didn't have lotion on. He looked like he had missed. He hadn't put a lotion on in about 2 weeks.
He had that few days no lotion.
No, like
yeah, like he's just been showering
multiple showers without any moisturizer touching this boy's skin.
It looked really bad. I used to have a coach. I used to have a coach who used to tell us if you were ashy, like you got the gray sickness. I'll never forget that shit. Because it was football, so you know the football pants. You can see it with your legs if you don't have like the thigh highs on, or not thigh highs. What do they call like the stirrups or whatever, the longer socks. If you don't have those on, you can really see it. So you're like, yeah, you got the gray sickness. So shit like that sticks with me. Like to this day, and I remember the kid he said it to, and to this day, I would like consider him ashy. Like that's how deep it gets.
Oh my god, that's so
there's
funny.
Zero chance that he would ever catch me without the lotion on deck.
Well, this is the thing for me, bro.
I'm too dark.
If you don't lotion up, you get itch. I get itchy.
It's itchy. You feel dry.
So like, I just get itchy. So I got to throw it on. That's like the main reason. It's not even like a look thing. It's just like
you get itchy.
My pants, if my pants are banging my legs and I didn't put a lot of I didn't put lotion on my shit is itching.
You're like sandpaper.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Plus, like, yeah, I have to put. My shower isn't complete without it either because I feel like once I put the lotion on, you know what I'm saying, it locks in the smell. You know what I'm saying? Because I wash with the same type of shit I lotion with. You feel me? Like it's shea butter, cocoa butter all day. So it's cocoa butter Dove. It's the cocoa butter Dove lotion. It's the cocoa butter Dove shampoo. Like it's a whole scene. So like it's the 1, 2, 3 combo. So like the fact that KD was out here like this, and listen, I'll tell you this. And for these dudes, there's actually really not an excuse for not having a haircut. But I could understand not doing the haircut because again, like there's plenty of times you just don't feel like doing it. Like especially if you got to go to the shop. Like they don't have to go to the shop; they come to them. But like for me, sometimes I just don't feel like going through the process of getting a haircut. Right? So I get that. Yeah, you're on a road trip. It is what it is. But lotion is always available. Like, come on, man. Yeah, you got to have lotion. Even if you don't want to get your fit off, like fits, haircuts, like whatever, man, do you.
Yeah, go low key, black t-shirt, black slacks, whatever.
Yeah, whatever you want to do, man. Like shit, as long as you're comfortable, but you can't be out here ashy.
I'm gonna tell you this though. Look, it's just proof in the pudding that KD only cares about hooping. I don't care about what my hair looks like. I don't care about my fit. I don't care about putting on lotion. I'm showing up to the gym and I'm worried about getting baskets, period, point blank.
But even in that situation, you can't be ashy. So KD's wrong.
Yeah, I mean, but still,
KD's out of line.
It's just another proof, though, that's like, yeah, this dude doesn't give a fuck.
Did you hear what he said? He was like, y'all are going to make me pull my I'm rich card.
Yeah, like the y'all are broke card. Yeah,
it's like okay, but I'm not ashy.
But I'm not ashy, though.
I'm not ashy.
Sure.
Never.
All right, you hit me directly about the Kuz sweater.
Because I needed to get your opinion on this because I've sent you Kuz fits before and you've been like, yo, I see where he's trying to go. This one obviously got a lot of attention.
Yeah.
There was a statement piece for sure, right? Like he knew what he was doing when he put on this sweater. Do we got the photo or no?
No. I don't have the photo pulled up.
But everybody's seen it.
Everybody's seen it.
He's wearing a massive pink oversized. Oversized isn't even the right word.
Yeah, it's
like the sleeves are twice as long as his arms. Like
he's a big dude with long
6'8".
arms.
Yeah,
if I put that on, it would be hitting the ground.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So where are you on this piece? Is this have we gone too far? Do you see where he's trying to go? As a fashion guy yourself, who's up on all this shit, you're in the blogs, you follow the stylists and all that. You know what's coming before it comes.
Yeah.
Is this too far, too much? Have we done too much?
I didn't think it was as bad as a lot of people did. I thought I could see like the angle he was trying to do. It's just like a different look on an oversized sweater with the super long sleeves. This is my stance with Kuz. I fuck with Kuz when it comes to the fashion because he always goes for it, no matter what. He's not scared to put it on. He's not scared to walk the tunnel with it. He knows he might get a lot of flack. He knows he might hit a home run on some of the shit. He pushes the boundary. He pushes the level. Hey, and if he played more like that on the floor, it might be better for his game, but he should take his mentality when it comes to fashion and bring it to the NBA, what he does. But I respect Kuz because he always goes for it. He's never scared. He doesn't give a fuck about what people are talking about. He rocks with it. He likes it. He pushes the boundaries. And I also think he's doing that to just promote the brand in itself. He knows that shit's gonna get a lot of talk on the internet. So he's just pushing the limits and doing what he's got to do. Overall, I don't think that shit was that dope, but it was a big statement. So I fuck with him pushing the limits. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for me, and I have no problem with the color pink at all, but for me, the fact that it was pink is what kind of threw me off on it. Like if possibly come with a different color, I could see where he was going. The pink, it was just too much pink.
It was like super loud and it was super
he looked
big.
like a fucking big ass bottle of Pepto-Bismol. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't look right.
Like if it was black, it might have went over.
Yeah,
a little
if it was
smooth.
black or like a gray, like a muted tone, something like that. Like I would have fucked with it a little bit more. But yeah, to your point, man, like he does push the limits. I respect anybody that can do that. The same way I respect the dudes who don't try, right, and just throw on the jeans and a t-shirt. Because I feel like a lot of these cats are wearing shit that they see on Instagram or that some stylist told them to, but it's not what they're actually comfortable in. Like some of these cats look mad uncomfortable. And that's exactly I don't respect. Because like for me, look, man, I might just throw on jeans and a t-shirt if I'm in their situation because I know that that's true to myself. I'm not going to go try to do what Kuz does because I want to keep up with the Joneses. You know what I mean? Sure. But you see some of these cats and it's like, yo, dog, like there's no way you're comfortable in that. Like there's no way, like not necessarily physically comfortable, but like comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like that you feel like that expresses you. Like you're just doing that because you saw somebody else do it and you feel like that's what you need to do. You know what I mean? Not what you
like
want
on some
do.
Trendy shit. Yeah, you're exactly
super trendy for no fucking reason. Like that's the shit that I really hate. Because you can tell who spends the time with it. Like you got your Ubres and these guys who you know who are really into it, but then you got some of these guys who it's just like, or like we've talked about this before, ball main across the chest.
Yeah,
fucking
just lots of logos.
Balenciaga. Like just logos. Like
logos.
That shit is so trash to me, dog.
Yeah.
I hate the big dumb logo across the chest unless it's a Nike swoosh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. All right, let's get into this LeBron fight because I want your opinion on this. Because first of all, I think LeBron's getting off easy here.
Yeah, I do too.
I think he blatantly, Buddy was on him.
The bird's eye view camera is the one that really shows you.
Listen. It was very obvious that my man was pressing Bron and Bron was getting annoyed.
Yeah.
So he flat out threw a fist at him. Backhand fist, period, point blank. Now, this is my stance on it. Sure, LeBron right after the fact was like, yo, my bad. I didn't mean to hit you like that. But I think he did.
You did.
Like, there wasn't anything like, he's like, yo, get off me. Let me make you feel me real quick. He hit him in the face. And right after, he's very like optical aware of like, oh, my bad, bro. Like, I didn't mean to hit you like that. But there's no other. What's the other outcome? He hits him in the throat.
It was a vicious swing of the arm.
For sure.
Like that was a deliberate swing of the arm. It wasn't like this. It was quick. It was fast. It was meant to hit him.
Right.
And to your point, Isaiah Stewart's type of guy who's going in there to do that type of shit to get under your skin. But to what we were talking about a few weeks ago, NBA, this is what you wanted when you stopped calling fouls. You stop calling fouls. Guys are getting pissed. I watched the game last night. I was watching Memphis and fucking Utah, and I'm just like, man, they just don't call fouls. Guys are getting harassed on the way to the basket, and you're not calling shit. So a guy like Stewart is like, yeah, fine, for sure, I'm here for that. I'll muddy it up with Bron. And Bron 100% threw that at him. Bron is 100% getting off easy. I don't want to hear AD coming in after the game talking about Bron's not a dirty player. He might not be, but he had a dirty moment. That was 100% a dirty moment. He swung at him. Period. 100%. Point blank. Period. 100%. Point blank. He swung. And LeBron has been in the NBA for 20 years and hasn't really had an incident like this. So you can't just tell me it's just something that he might do.
That's the thing. Yeah. So like, so I get him saying, yo, my bad. I didn't mean to hit you in the face that hard, I guess maybe. But he 100% deliberately meant to hit him, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, that was where I was kind of caught off guard about, like, the whole, like, oh, sure, LeBron, didn't mean to do that, this, that, and the third. I think it was one of those things where he meant to do it, and then right after, he's like, oh, my bad, bro. Like, it was deliberate.
Yeah, he realized he made a mistake. You know what I mean? He realized he made a mistake and was like, oh, shit, my bad. Just like a lot of us would in that type of situation. Fuck, all right, hey, man, no, we good. Like, it's a moment of frustration. It's the heat of the moment. But don't come out here and try to pretend like it was an accident. That was not an accident, bro. Like, you swung on that man. Like, 100%, you swung. And you swung him hard enough that you broke skin.
Dog, he was leaking.
He was leaking crazy.
He was leaking all over the place.
And then y'all want to make this man look like he's crazy or something. No, Bron just fucking swung on him in the middle of a game. What do you expect?
Yeah, I think
and then the Lakers announcers are like, "Oh, he's out of control." He's not out of control. He just got swung on.
Well, this is what happened. He knew he got hit in the face, so then he went and talked to Bron like, "Yo, what do you want?" And then he saw the blood, I think, and then he's
like, "Oh hell."
Then he got enraged. You know what I'm saying?
100%. Yeah,
But I wish he would have grabbed LeBron's jersey like on some like, "Hey, cut."
Oh, he would have got mopped up at that point in time. But yeah.
Hey, cut.
And LeBron didn't want that smoke, and LeBron's not gonna isn't here for that. He's not gonna do that. You know what I mean?
But I truly think, and this is my opinion, that he deliberately hit him and then tried to play it off like, "Oh, my bad, bro, you good?"
Yeah.
No, man, there was nothing else could have came of that. It was he was either gonna hit him in the face, hit him in the throat, or elbow him in the chest hard as you know what I'm saying?
He'll be a Clutch client next week.
Yeah, something gonna happen.
He'll sign with Clutch.
But
Bron will make it up to him.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that Bron is a dirty player or none of that. Because
he had a moment.
But he had a moment where he hit him in the face.
You have 20 years of basketball that shows you he's not. But that was a dirty play.
No question.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, that was a dirty play. It is what it is, man. Like, that doesn't mean that he's a dirty player, but it was a dirty play. Period, point blank. And Buddy was right to get upset, and that's that.
100%, bro. I agree.
He swung 100%. on him. He swung on him, man. I don't know, what are we talking about here?
Okay, let's get into the actual hoops. Folks are starting to wake up a little bit in the East. We got Atlanta back to 500, Cleveland and the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks are tapering off, but they're kind of hanging right there at that 500 level. Like we've talked about, the East is loaded. There is 11 teams with 9 wins or more. It's insane.
Yeah.
And Brooklyn's at the top with 13-5. Bulls lost last night to bring it down to 12-6. I know you wanted to talk NBA MVP. Where are you at right now with that? And just, I know there's a big story on ESPN too about Melo coming back and being that number 1 reserve for the Lakers. I think that's interesting. But where are you at with the league overall? What's catching your eye?
I mean, if we want to start MVP talk, I mean, I think still Steph is firmly number 1.
Sure.
Obviously, with what Golden State's doing, they got the best record in the league. They're on fire. He's playing crazy. He's obviously keeping them moving. We know that Klay's coming back. I've already given you my thoughts on that. I think it's going to take a little while before he's
been gone forever now.
It was pre-pandemic. Like, I want people to understand that. Like, think about how long the last 2 years has been for all of us. Like, that's how long it's been since Klay Thompson played basketball. We've had 2 full NBA seasons.
He's been gone
Thompson
for
played basketball. He's been gone for a very, very long time. But obviously they're rolling, man. So I would put him number 1. Number 2, it's KD. Brooklyn is rolling. They've won 8 of their last 10.
It's going to be those 2 guys all year.
All year. And for me, third, hey, listen, man. Call me a homer. Call me biased. It's DeMar DeRozan.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's been going crazy, and the team's winning.
He's been going crazy. On the nights that Zach isn't available, dude, he's doing DeMar's doing his thing, but he's doing his thing regardless. What's he averaging? Like 25 a game, timely buckets whenever you need them, right? Starts runs for the Bulls, kills runs for other teams. I mean, I still think Zach is our best player. Obviously,
he quiets the crowd too.
Yeah, I still think Zach's our best player, obviously, but DeMar DeRozan has had an MVP impact on the Chicago Bulls. Other guys I like. Hey, look, man, we have clowned him so much on this podcast, right? We have clowned him so much on this podcast, but we got to give his flowers when we need to. Paul George, that team shouldn't be as good as they are.
Listen to me.
They've won 7 of their last 10. Paul George is balling.
That boy been locked in for since the second half of last year.
Yeah, locked.
The whole way through.
Locked.
And no one's gonna give him love because that's just not gonna happen.
Because he's a goofy.
Let's
call it what it is. I mean, he's a goofy.
And when I say give him love, I'm talking about just like the Twitterverse. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously, you know, the media will give him his love. He's been playing really well. I see it. I've been watching it.
27, 8, and 5.
And he's been like Kawhi went down. Yeah. He's been locked and loaded ever since. He did it in the playoffs. He did it. Yeah, he did big time shots, timely shots, everything, man. Yeah, he's there. Paul George is plus 3,000 to win the MVP. Steph Curry's plus 200. Durant's +5, and then Giannis is +7. DeRozan's +4,000 though, with Donovan Mitchell, Harden, Ja Morant.
There's zero chance he wins the MVP, so I wouldn't make that bet. I don't know what he could do to win the MVP. Because he can't really play any better.
Yeah, Bulls would have to win fucking 65 games.
Yeah, the Bulls would have to get back. I think we are. This Bulls team is kind of where they are, and you kind of know where they're going to go.
Yeah,
I guess you know what I mean when I say that. Like, they're not going to all of a sudden get on like a 65 win pace, and he's not going to all of a sudden become a 30-point per game scorer. But I think he's going to settle in at 24, 25 and continue to do what he's doing. He plays phenomenally with Zach. Sure. So for me, like, as far as impact goes, and again, it's easy for us to say because we're Bulls fans and we know where this team was before DeMar came. But to me, without a doubt, clearly the biggest free agent signing in the NBA of the last year, right? Easy. But the most impactful move, I feel like, of the last year in the NBA. And I challenge anybody on that except for maybe the Harden deal. So yeah, I'm all in on the DeMar situation. Obviously, Chris Paul doing his thing. Ja Morant, don't sleep on the boy. Giannis, it could fuck around and be another Giannis year, but I think you called it where you think they're just gonna kind of cruise in the regular season.
They're in a different realm now.
Shit out of the Magic last night, though. I think they went by like 50.
Yeah. Well, let's go back to Steph and the Warriors real quick because Nick Friedel, ESPN, wrote an interesting article about.
Oh God, Nick Friedel, a beat reporter with no scoops. Would cover the Bulls during the D Rose era. And literally never had information. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, so that's a whole nother conversation. Yeah. But he did talk to Draymond Green. I want to get your opinion on this. And Draymond basically said he has he's found newfound love for basketball again. It was stale. And this is Draymond Green, and I quote, "I've just kind of found that love again," Green said. "Kind of go through a lot of shit and the love kind of wanes a little bit. But I've just found out that love and joy for the game, and I'm just enjoying playing basketball and controlling what I can control. A point of emphasis for myself this year was simply control what I can control. That means on the court. That means with the referees. That means off the floor. That's just a step in my life, and I think it shows on the basketball court." Is this just really easy to say because you guys are winning?
No, I think this is all in reference. Dude, if you hear any of them talk about it, they did not enjoy those last two titles. Specifically, like that, those last 2 years. They won the one title, then lost the last year to the Toronto.
Yeah.
To a man, KD didn't enjoy it. Draymond didn't enjoy it. I think Steph is always going to be, he's not really going to say too much, but I doubt he enjoyed it. Steve Kerr didn't enjoy it. Right. So I think, and that kind of then bled over to having some bad losing seasons. I think now to be winning and to kind of be winning organically again for them, I think it's just a joy. He's found that joy in the game. He didn't like those last years with all the coverage, the scrutiny, the KD situation. He hated the KD situation. Yeah, didn't like the rebuilding situation. Probably enjoyed the rebuilding situation more than he did those last 2 years with KD. Yeah. And now they're just in a place where they're winning. It's all good. There's less pressure. You know what I mean? You're out of that 6-year window that they had, which was just crazy, and the expectations were nuts, and they're just having fun. You see it with Steph too. That's it. You see it with you saw it with Steph last year. That second half of the year, he was just having fun. He was just having fun. I think Draymond, and now it's contagious, and Draymond's got it too.
To me, it sounds like there's no pressure now, so it's a lot more fun.
Yeah,
but so what? When shit starts getting ramped up and Klay comes back, and then there's expectations, is it not going to be as fun again?
It'll never be like it was. I don't think it'll ever be like it was.
So it sounds like he's just blaming it on KD then. When KD was here and we were doing this and that, I wasn't having fun.
Yeah.
But now we're waiting on Klay to come back. I'm having the ball. We're winning. He's
been consistent with that.
It's just the KD situation.
I think and it's not just KD, right? Like it's all Kevin Durant's fault, but I think the whole atmosphere around that particular time was rough for them. And they've talked about it, man. They weren't having fun at all. Even though they were winning, I think they even said winning was a relief at that point in time.
Instead of a joy.
Instead of a joy. And I think now it's different when you enjoy winning as opposed to you enjoy not losing. You know what I'm saying? And now I think they're just enjoying winning. Whatever. We're 15-2. Steph's balling. I'm back to doing Draymond things. You know what I mean? I'm back to kind of being that guy. And our boy's going to come back. We got some young guys on the squad that we like. We like these Jordan Pooles and these Juan Toscano Andersons and these Wisemans and Gary Paytons and these guys. And look at Wiggins over there. He might decide to play every 5th Tuesday, and they go from there. So it is it is what it is. So
no, it's interesting because I think that pressure is going to ratchet up again, though, and then
it will. But it'll never be like it was. They'll never be expected to win like that. Dude, that pressure was crazy during that period. You had the most wins in a regular season. You added the second best player in the NBA. You had Steph winning MVPs every year. Yeah, they got 3, right?
No, KD only won 2 over there.
Yeah, and then when they got the one before KD.
Right. But I'm talking about with KD, yeah.
Yeah, they got 2 out of 3 years. So, I mean, but again, that doesn't mean that they enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's interesting. And
I think you watch The Last Dance and you kind of see how winning a championship isn't necessarily the party that it's cracked up to be. Especially when the pressure is crazy and you've been winning for so long. Like that last year, you're like, these guys are fucking stressed. This want it to be over. You know what I mean? Like, get me the fuck out of here. Yeah. Like, of course we want to win and we're going to do everything we can for it to happen. But it's like,
phew.
Whew. You know what I'm saying? Like, get me out of here, man. Like, I'm good. You just want to chill.
I think it's the Otto Porter effect, really.
Yeah, and Otto's over there like, hey, guys, listen, guys.
I think it's because Otto over there, but that's besides the point.
I just got off a 4-year, $100 million deal. Do you know they paid me $30 million last year? It's unbelievable. No, nothing can be wrong. Don't be upset. Dre, don't be upset about anything. I got big money. Come to the house. I got a new house in the Bay. It's me, Big Money Otto.
That's funny, man.
I'm sure he probably does have an effect in there, but like, we laugh, but like a dude like that walks in and everything's good, and you're just like, look at Otto, man. He's just happy. He doesn't give a fuck.
Otto just doing his thing, man. Like,
he got so much bread.
Yeah, that's it. That's all.
Shout out Otto.
All right. Any other NBA before we get to this NFL?
Opt-in Otto.
Opt-in Otto.
Let's see. Did I have anything else on the NBA?
You wanted No, we're good. Let's move to NFL just because we got a couple things we got to go over.
Anything on the Bulls? Scheduled loss last night.
You actually hit me. Good looks on that. And then I did a little research really quick.
Everything was pointing towards them getting smacked around.
Yeah, I was going to take the night off, but I had a rough Sunday. Dude, I had a rough Sunday. I was like, I'm going to take the night off and then I'll come back Tuesday. But yeah, everything was looking at a Bulls loss, but
overall, 3-2 on the road trip.
3-2 on the road trip. I'll take that all day, especially because of the talent that we were playing. We were playing some good teams. It wasn't some fuck around squads, and we probably should have been 4-1 against Portland. We blew that, right?
Yeah, we blew that one. Yep.
So I'm not mad at that road trip. But let's get to the NFL just so we could talk a little bit before we get out of here. This is the most parity in the NFL I've seen in years. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
Every week, a team I thought was really good is not good anymore. A team I thought was bad is playing a lot better. I tweeted out every time I put money on or against Carson Wentz, it's a disaster. Back and forth either way. So I don't know, man. It's a lot of stuff going on. Go ahead.
What happens every year when you don't know who a good team is?
The
Patriots win the Super Bowl.
I was gonna say you could go either. I thought you were gonna say Tom Brady was the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but now we're gonna see, is it Tom Brady win the Super Bowl or is it the Patriots? But yeah. No, for sure, man. Tons of parity. You really don't know what looked like the dominant teams at the beginning of the year. Your Buffaloes, your Tampa Bay, which I know they won yesterday. Even Dallas coming off a loss has been kind of flipped around. And some of these teams that look like absolute trash at the beginning of the year, Pittsburgh, which I know they lost, tough game. But Indianapolis, New England,
dude, they're
these
6-5 now.
The Colts? Yeah, the Colts are 6-5.
Yeah.
By the way, I watched the in-season Hard Knocks last night.
Yeah, what'd you think?
Fucking awful, brutal.
Is there 2 episodes out now?
There's only one.
I watched the first one. Okay.
Yeah, it was brutal. I thought it was terrible.
It's
boring. The regular season's boring.
Well, they're just not interesting either.
They're not interesting. Frank Reich's not interesting. Carson Wentz is not interesting. It was like a 10-minute monologue of Frank Reich talking about Carson Wentz, and like I knew he was the guy because we had the same Bible verse. I was like, turn this shit off. But I think like what makes Hard Knocks good, like for the training camp shit, is like all the randomness and like the light moments. Dude, during the regular season, guys are so tense. You're so tense. It's so serious. There's no bullshitting. Like you're just locked in for 18 weeks. So I don't think you're going to get that same.
Especially
that
a guy
stuff.
like a squad like the Colts that have been basically 500 all year or below
exactly.
500.
Like every week is very
every
tense.
week is very tense.
It's like get the camera out of here. Like they're not interesting. But yeah, they're 6-5 all of a sudden out of nowhere. The Patriots, which we talked about last week, but man, what is that? 4 straight?
Yo, the D is
4 straight for them. Defense playing crazy, and Mac Jones playing mistake-free football.
That's it.
Mistake-free football.
Yo, if you go back, I need to go find the clip. We talked about Mac Jones, and I'm like, look, bro.
Were you big on Jones coming out?
I wasn't as big as I kind of held back a little bit, but I did say, like, yo, I'm watching this dude play in the SEC and throw the ball around, and he's doing it very well.
Yeah.
Like, do you guys remember Devontae Smith won the Heisman, right?
Yeah.
Do you know who was throwing him the rock?
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones. Like, he didn't get the ball by himself.
Right.
So if you go back and look at like what he was doing at Alabama, he was throwing the rock all over the place there.
Yeah.
So I remember coming out, I was like, I think I put Mac Jones at 3. I think I did Lawrence, Fields, Jones. I'm pretty sure. I'd have to go back and look, but this is a classic Sean and Nick watch the film. Just go look, bro.
Well,
he's playing the best players in college football, and he's throwing the ball
executing the game plan and winning.
And all over the place, and they're winning games. Well, I think the biggest thing, dog, is that he's accurate. He's not throwing the ball hard. He's not cocking back and throwing the ball 45, 50 yards. He's letting the ball out. He's getting the ball out early. People aren't in breaks yet. It's just like it's good. He's been playing really well.
And what is quarterback in the NFL about? I mean, again, it's easy to get tantalized by the physical traits, the huge arm, the super fast guy, but let's keep it real. It's about completing 2nd and 7s. You know what I mean? 3rd and 8s, hitting guys in stride, check down when you need to, making the right. You're not going out there flinging the ball. Like it's not the Patrick Mahomes show for every quarterback in the NFL, especially for Belichick, who you know is going to give you a winnable game plan. It's like, hey man, go out there and execute. Guys are going to be where they're supposed to be. Get him the ball, make a play when you need to. Tom Brady was never throwing the ball, spraying it downfield like that. Maybe that one year with Moss and them, but it was a lot of shorter stuff. Short to intermediate, accurate throws is what you need to make it in the NFL. Drew Brees couldn't throw the ball deep when he was in his prime, and certainly at the end of his career, he wasn't throwing it longer than 13 yards down the field, but was crazy accurate, and guys are getting where they need to go. So like you said, with that defense, their defense is playing crazy. Bill spent a ton of money in the offseason getting guys that he wanted. And now you look up, that team's won 5 straight. And lo and behold, who's atop the NFC East? The New England Patriots.
And then you get a combo of a guy that makes good decisions, has a massive arm, and is mobile, and you get Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
And then you have literally a top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
Right. But you might not even need that in New England with Mac Jones.
Well, that's what I mean.
Now. It's like, yo, this guy's only going to get better. Yeah.
But it's like the big arm is like the last thing you need.
Yeah.
Like, but then if you add that, then you got a guy that's the top 5 quarterback in the league.
For sure.
Like, that's it.
Great.
You know what I'm saying?
But you certainly can get by without it if you know what you're doing, right? Like, I get what. Yeah, for sure. The flip side of that is Buffalo. Do they know what they're doing? Like that's a team that I worry about. Like we were huge on them coming into the year.
Massive,
but it seems
bro.
like
they're getting ready to lose the division.
They're relying on Josh Allen. Essentially needs to throw 5 touchdowns and for 500 yards for them to win. They don't even pretend to run the ball, which we talked about last year. It's just one dimensional.
To me, bro, it looks like they were kind of sipping their own Kool-Aid. That's what it seems like to me. Every time I've seen or read anything about them, or when I watch them, they just seem like shit's supposed to it's supposed to just happen for them.
We're naturally going to get to that.
We're just going to come in there every week, and Josh Allen's going to do whatever he's got to do, and we're gonna beat people up. And Indianapolis came and punched them in the mouth last week, and they had zero answer.
No answer the entire game.
They went down 14-0, and the game was fucking over.
Yeah.
It was done. They couldn't do anything. They didn't have a game plan or what they were going to do. And I had money on Buffalo. So
they hung 41 on them.
That's what I'm saying. It was just like they turned the ball over a couple times. So that's what it feels like to me, that they kind of sipped a little bit of their own Kool-Aid coming into the year, and they still haven't really. They got 6 wins, but they still haven't really got it rolling where they're like spooky good. They beat up on a couple bad teams, but yeah, it's interesting.
I think they have given this division away. I just, again, I mean, when you're talking about the Patriots winning 5
straight, they haven't even played the Patriots yet.
I don't think they have yet.
They got to play the Patriots twice. So,
and here's the thing: if you're one-dimensional against Bill Belichick, you have major problems because he's going to take away that one dimension, and then you have nothing left.
Yeah, so it's actually really impressive what he does, man.
It's really impressive what he does. It's extremely impressive, man. Like I think last year with Brady winning the Super Bowl last year and New England being kind of a disaster, it was like some people were quick to be like, "Oh, like see, we told you it was Brady the whole time." It's like, nah, dude. That
was the kick in the ass. I think Belichick. Yeah. I think that had Belichick hot, bro.
He's like, you know what? Fuck this.
Fuck this. Spending the money. I'm doing what I gotta do.
Robert, I need the check.
Yeah,
Gilmore. And then Mac Jones falls to them. He didn't even have to trade up. He didn't even have to trade up.
Didn't have to do it.
He's like, oh,
called his boy Saban.
Is this guy ready? He's like, yeah. Okay. Say less.
Like,
done.
I'm not. That's all. That's the only recruiting. That's the only film we watched.
Added 2 tight ends. Added Judon, who's fucking ridiculous for them this year. And then all the other guys they already had, and then you add that with that coaching staff. And I think people were like, it started off rough this year, where they started off like 2-4. Yeah. It started off rough, and people were like, oh yeah, no, it's not going to work. Woo. And then, man, they rattle off 5 straight. They smack around the easy games, the rookie quarterbacks, the inexperienced quarterbacks that they play, your Zach Wilsons and those guys who they're going to smack around. And then again, here we are. They're 7-4, hottest team in the NFL right now.
Sure.
And nobody wants to play them.
No, they don't. I would be worried. This is the thing. The only thing about them is that I would be worried if they fell behind and they had to open it. Like if they can dictate, they'd look really, really good. I would be interested to see how the Patriots get in the game where they're not dictating everything that's happening. Like if you watch that Falcons game, they dictated they dictated everything.
Yeah.
The pace, if they wanted to throw it, if they wanted to pass it, whatever it was, they just dictated everything. Hey, another example of don't pay your running back. Ramondre Stevenson is a rookie, and he's fucking running all over the place for the Patriots.
Is that the Patriots running back?
Yeah, he's a Damian Harris.
Yeah,
got hurt, who's also a stud. And they started giving the ball to this dude, Ramondre Stevenson. He starts running. He's running all over the place. He had 20 carries, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns against Cleveland.
You don't got to worry about Bill paying him. Bill doesn't pay anybody. He's definitely not going to pay a running back.
Yeah. So it's just another example of, man, don't do it. Don't pay your running back. Don't do it. All right, look, I just pulled up the power rankings, ESPN.com, the worldwide leader. Shout out Dante in the comments. Mac Jones came in with low egoable, coachable, happy to be there. Exactly right.
Listen, remember the walk? Remember the walk when he got drafted?
Yep, and that's exactly what Belichick loves and feels like he can trust. That's it.
Loves him.
He don't need no big time ego dude. That's why I was shocked. Honestly, that's why I was shocked when it came out like how much he loved Cam Newton and stuff like that. And I love Cam, so I get it. But
I wasn't.
Why?
Because I think you see Cam and you see a lot of that outward ego and all that. But what you also got to remember is Cam is a team guy. He is probably great with young players. He is probably first in the locker room, last to leave. Positive attitude. Whereas with Brady was the real ego because it's like, dude, fuck you. I'm sick of listening to this shit. I'm gonna train with my people.
But that was after 15 years,
right? But it was still I'm gonna train with my guy. I have my own performance coaches. I have my own. Whereas with Cam was probably like, what time you want me here, Bill? Fine, I'll be here a half hour earlier. I'm smiling. I'm happy. I'm positive. I'm upbeat. Guys gravitate to me. I'm a captain. Like all those football qualities where it's like, oh, we want to rally around this guy. That's Cam Newton. So I wasn't surprised. Like Belichick loved him. They said because he was just always smiling.
Obviously, he loved him because he wasn't doing shit on the field.
Yeah, exactly. So I think like I don't think Cam's the type of dude who would give a coach a problem just because I feel like he is such a positive guy. Like, you see the fedoras and all that shit, but I don't think it's an arrogance inside the locker room when it comes time to talk to the coach. I think he was probably very like reverent of Belichick. But yeah, I mean, 100%, man. Mac Jones, low ego. He's dealt with a hard-ass coach with Saban, so this is not his first time not being coddled. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's dealt with adversity, having to wait his turn at Alabama.
Yep.
So he comes in there ready to work. And that's all Bill wants. Hey, man, come in and work, dog. It's all good. And now he'll be there the next 20 years, and that's that.
That's that.
He looks like a 20-year quarterback.
He looks like a 20-year.
He does. Looks like a 20-year quarterback.
He does. He looks like a 20-year quarterback.
He's going to be around forever, yeah.
He looks like a 20-year quarterback. That's for sure.
All right, so power rankings. What do we got?
Okay, look, this is fresh off the press. Arizona Cardinals, Green Bay Packers, Tennessee Titans, Los Angeles.
That's
Tennessee
this week?
Titans at 3. This is this week.
So 2 teams that lost?
Arizona Cardinals,
the Titans
number 1.
And the Packers both lost.
Arizona Cardinals went up 3 slots. The Packers were number 1 last week. They went down to 2. Titans went down 2. They're at 3. Oh, no. Yeah. And then the Rams, and then we got the Cowboys, followed by Bucks, Chiefs, Ravens, Patriots are 9.
That's
Colts
crazy.
are 10.
The Patriots have won 5. So they're going on, because for me, power rankings are like, how are you playing right now? And how is a team that's won 5 straight 9th? How is a team coming off losses in 2nd? And I guess, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, the Cardinals, listen.
Cardinals, yeah. I mean, the Cardinals, look, Colt McCoy looked like a fucking MVP candidate on Sunday.
Well, that's 2 of the 3 weeks he's looked really solid.
Really good.
I also think Seattle is fucking garbage.
Terrible.
I don't really know what happened. I know there was a lot of rumblings about, Coach Carroll being done and all that. And I think they kind of were like, all right, let's do 1 more year type thing.
Yeah, he's probably done after this.
And this is like that 1 more year type situation where Russell's not playing good. The defense is brutal.
Defense is terrible.
Kind of that was where they over the years have hung their hat, and the defense is really, really bad. Like bottom, like in the mid to late 20s in a lot of categories.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's tough over there. I think Russell, the folks are talking about Russell's going to leave now. It's tough what happens. You start losing games, bro. Quarterback's going to leave. The coach is gone. Like, it starts to get real spooky. But Arizona looked impressive, man. Colts looked good 2 out of the last 3. And shout out Cliff Kingsbury.
Hey, look, man, another guy who we killed. We always compliment him on his crib. Crib is crazy. Crib is official. But we question his coaching acumen. Yeah. But I'll say this, man, that team has looked good all year. 8-2. No Kyler Murray. Keeping that 2-1 without Kyler Murray. Or since he's went down. I guess he went down the middle of that game the other 2 games ago. And they've looked good, man. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's a good looking ball club. And we thought that, we thought that division that they were going to have a lot of problems in that division, and they seem to be not crazy ahead, right? I think they're only 1 game up on the Rams, but they don't look like they're falling apart. So I like it. Rams are 7-3. Cardinals are 9-2.
I'm going to tell you this, bro.
They were talking like that division was going to have everybody over 500. The Niners and the Seahawks are ass.
Niners are picking it up.
They're picking it up, but they're ass.
They had a monsoon against the Colts, so that shit was kind of spooky. Then they beat up on the Bears. Then they won last week. So
yeah, they don't scare you though.
They don't. No, they're not scary, but
they can give you a tough game.
They'll give you a good game.
Yeah,
I think that's simple as that.
Sure.
How do you feel about the Packers at 2? They might as well just call these motherfuckers the Aaron Rodgers. The Aaron Rodgers Packers.
I'm not. Look, I think so.
This guy, listen, man. I had money on the Vikings. They pulled it out. But I'm telling you, bro, the stuff this guy, Aaron Rodgers, does, he is the best quarterback I've ever witnessed in my life. I'm telling you, the shit that you're watching that he's making look extremely easy is very, very difficult. He doesn't fucking plant his feet. He just rolls left, jump throws, does all types of shit. He makes these wide receivers that are nobodies look like fucking Pro Bowlers. It's ridiculous. The ball placement on some of these throws, it's you couldn't hand the ball to these guys better than where he's putting it. It's insane.
Yep, absolutely. And I think that is part of the reason why I would worry a little bit about them, because they're talking to him after the game, like, oh, the injuries and all that. And like, he's talking about the pain that he's in, but it's like they're also showing the ticker at the bottom. And it's like, well, he's 23 for 33, 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. So obviously
exactly.
It's not like he needs to get better and maybe they'll win. It's like he's playing at an elite level, even while he's hurt, and they still lost that game. But to me, they were always going to lose that game. I thought, like we do our pick'em, that was the layup of the week for me. I just thought
it was a good spot.
It was a really good spot for the Vikings.
Y'all got bailed out, by the way. I had a 5-0 locked and loaded.
You started talking crazy.
Dog, I had a 5-0 so loaded.
And Big Ben started doing his thing.
Oh, man. I lost by the hook, bro.
Yeah.
I had that 5-0 locked. I can't believe that.
So, I don't know if they're the second best team in the NFL.
I don't think they are.
I don't think they are, because I think that their defense has the ability to play well, but they also have the ability to play like absolute shit, right? And it shows up like it did last week against the Vikings. It's shown up in other games this year. It's also shown up where they've played well. So I just feel like that team is – Aaron Rodgers has to play lights out. Period, point blank. Has to play lights out, and then something else has to go well for them.
Yeah.
Whatever it might be, some other phase of the game has to go well for them. And I just think that that's a dangerous way to live. But to your point, look, man, it's the best quarterback ever, maybe. So
yeah, and I keep saying that every week, and he keep like y'all want to play a shootout in Minnesota? Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Bro, they scored a touchdown, and this guy came back the very next play and threw a 75-yard touchdown. The next play. It's ridiculous. Like, so yeah, you guys want to play a shootout? We can shoot it out, no problem. You want to go 7? You want to have a little slow-paced slugfest at home against the Seahawks? I'll win 17-0, no problem. But whatever he needs to do, it seems to happen every week. I don't think they're the second best team in the league.
No,
no,
I think that's a stretch.
I don't believe that. I think the Titans are still number 2 for me. And listen,
really?
Yeah, that game against
even without Derrick Henry,
the Tennessee Titans. Yeah, I mean, right now, if we're talking about power rankings right now, that and guess who they have this week? The Patriots. So we're going to see what time it is in that game. That should be really interesting. This was the flattest spot of all time for the Titans. They had won 6 in a row. They're at home, so they're chilling. It's Thanksgiving week. They're chilling.
Ass team.
They're playing the Texans. They're not even thinking about these dudes. They're thinking about the number 1 seed in the AFC. And we're looking ahead to the Patriots. Like, I didn't think they would lose, but I knew it was going to be tighter than the 10-point spread that was laid out there.
Shout out Tyrod Taylor, man. They tried everything. They tried everything to knock my man's out the box. You know what I'm saying? They tried to deflate his lungs.
Everything.
They done hurt him. You know what I mean? They done moved on from him in Buffalo, and Tyrod Taylor's like, nah, man, still I rise.
Still I rise.
Shout out Tyrod Taylor, $60 million in career earnings.
And he listen, and I also think the Rams, Chiefs, and Cowboys, they're all tied for wherever you want to put them. That's those 3 teams are the same team.
Yeah, and the Chiefs, all that chatter about the Chiefs. Look, they've won 4 straight. They look good. Their defense is going to be sus. We know that. It's going to be sus every single week.
They looked so good on Sunday.
But they look good on Sunday.
They looked ridiculous on Sunday.
Wait, real quick, sticking on that Packers Vikings game.
Yeah.
Where are we with Kirk Cousins? Because look, we've seen him play well before. We've never seen him play this well. But we know who he. At the same time, we know who he is. But dude. 21 touchdowns, 2 picks this year, completing 70% of his pass. Like, he's playing lights out.
Stay away from him in primetime.
Any big spot.
Any big type of spot. It's very spooky. And if you I watched the game front to back.
Yeah.
I was watching that and the Bears, and he should have threw about 2 more interceptions than he did. Like, there was one that got called back that was clearly a pick, I thought, but they were saying the ball bounced off the ground. He threw another pass toward late in the game. Like, he easily could have had 3 picks in that game.
So nothing has changed. He's still looking the same.
I mean, he's solid. I put my money on him. I backed him. I bet the Vikings at home against the Packers.
Is he replacement level quarterback or better than replacement level quarterback?
He's better than replacement level. Okay. I think. I mean, like, he's on the top half in the league. Okay. Like, it is what it is. He's 15, 16 best quarterback in the league. Like, that's it. I'm taking him before I take Baker. I'm taking him before.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, we talked about that. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's where.
Man, Baker. Tough.
And you get to those spots where, like, listen, if
Baker
he
out of
wasn't
town.
making all that money, you wouldn't hate on Kirk as much. Or I'll speak for myself. I wouldn't hate on Kirk as much, but he's been playing solid all year. And they've had some tough losses. So we'll see where that shakes. But
Kirk Cousins, $162 million in career earnings.
Yeah, cash.
God bless.
And he's about to be due for a deal here.
Yeah, he's gonna get another deal. Yeah.
So
he still got another million on this.
Right,
he's
still got another deal coming. Yeah. So say what you want. But
what did RG3 say? Kirk Cousins making all that money to go 8-8.
8-8, making all that money every year, annually. So
yeah, you get some guaranteed money too. Yeah, shout out Kirk Cousins. Yeah, no, I still think he is who he is. Okay. You touched real quick on the Chiefs. Where are you on Kansas City? How do you feel on that? I mean,
listen, if the D is going to play like that, they're obviously the favorites to win the AFC, but we don't know that. I think next week they could come out and give up 40 and we'd be back to the same thing. That's why the NFL is so interesting right now, because literally teams that I think are really good, we were just touting the Cowboys offense being some of the best offense in the league or that we've seen all year. And then they go on the road and they scored 9 points.
I thought that was a bad spot for them too.
Yeah, it was. I had the Chiefs
that was another bad like that. The Packers going to Minnesota and the Cowboys it's going to Kansas City were two awful spots.
Sure, but say what you want. You weren't expecting them to score 9 points.
No.
Like they could lose the game all they want. You expected them to at least put up 20 plus points. They scored 9 points. So right. Yeah, I don't know. They look good. It's interesting. I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough. I think a big thing going into that game was the Cowboys are really bad against tight ends, and so Kelce would have a good game, and he did. Yeah. So those are the type of angles and spots you got to look for, like the matchups. The Cowboys are they were 24th in DVOA against tight ends, and
they're talking about as one of the best tight ends in the league.
Exactly. So those are the spots you got to be like, hey, maybe I could get a little prop in here on Kelce or take the Chiefs in this spot at home in that third primetime slot. Shout out the Bears for getting Nance and Romo. I don't know how the fuck we pulled that
how
off.
did we get Nance and Romo at noon?
Yeah, they sent them at noon, bro.
Yeah, I heard. Well, when I first started the game, I was like, "Is that Nance?" I'm like, "No, it's not Nance. It's noon.
It can't be Nance."
Yeah, it's noon. It's noon against fucking the backup quarterback. It's Nance and Romo.
It was Nance and Romo. I think. You know what we'll do? We'll try to get a little Bears pod before Thanksgiving, and we can talk about the Nagy situation. Let's get some more clarity on that, and then we'll talk about where we're at going into
the situation by then.
Going into the Thanksgiving game.
Before we do that, though, can I just read the Jalen Johnson quote so it doesn't get lost?
Sure.
So obviously the Bears, we saw the game. We don't need to recap the game too much. Bears lose one of the more winnable games that we've had in quite some time. Just to be frank, one of the more winnable games.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, one of the more winnable games that we've been in a while. We've been calling for Matt Nagy's head for a long time. I think this is one of the most telling quotes I've ever seen a second-year cornerback, second-round pick, say. Have you seen this yet? So they asked Jalen Johnson about the losing streak, and here's what he said. Tell me what you think when you hear this.
Okay.
How many games have we lost in a row? Yeah, there's nothing to talk about. We aren't going to beat a dead horse. Like I said, we were all men. Coming in here and saying we have to figure out a way, to me, it's BS. We aren't going to keep talking. We have to find ways to win. We just have to get it done, whatever it is. There's nothing to keep coming in here and talking about and having all these rah-rah speeches. We've had 5 weeks of rah-rah speeches. I don't think that talking is anything we need to be doing.
Yes, we don't.
To me, that's directed straight at Matt Nagy and the shit. Because you hear what Nagy says in the press conferences, which is probably the same shit that he's saying to the team. It's very rah-rah. It's very we need to find man.
Yeah, that's directed directly at Matt Nagy.
100%. We've had 5 weeks of rah-rah speeches.
He's saying we don't need to talk. We don't need to talk anymore.
Make a fucking adjustment.
Make an adjustment. Change some personnel. Do whatever you got to do. Do something. Yeah, that's interesting. We'll talk about it. Let's talk. Yeah. Let's do that tomorrow.
We'll leave it with that.
Yeah. We'll do that. All right, man. That's no catch up this week. Sports Talk via Chicago. I'm your host, Sean Little. Big Nick the Quick with me as always. Make sure you subscribe everywhere, man. Tap in with us. Tell a homie to tell a friend to tell another friend. YouTube, iTunes, Spotify. You know where we're at. For Big Nick the Quick, I'm your host, Sean Little. No Catch Up Sports Talk via Chicago. We out of here.